My parents told me that learning it was an idea that was very important, and it was taking in information, knowledge, and that's about what I thought about it. You know, at a very young age, that's kind of how I considered learning.
Like when someone absorbs knowledge in their mind, or you learn new things come and absorbing it almost for you keep it in you.
It was important to know how to read and do basic arithmetic like this. But I didn't really know what the goal was and what the purpose was.
Finding the purpose of learning is fundamental in individual growth. However, learning can only occur for so long without a more capable adult or peer.
I think I just started to develop an interest in learning at that point. Coming from inside myself and then just being influenced by some of the people that I've run into.
Jonathan grew up only focused on learning to be means to get a job. There was little emphasis placed on education and the importance to learn. Through his years working, he met friends that guided him back into education. More importantly, a peer, who at the time was becoming a teacher, gave him guidance to becoming an educator, a pathway back into learning.
As soon as I started, because I started going back to school in my mid-20s, and I ran into a guy at work that was also finishing up at UCSD, and he was going into education, and moved up to LA, and was teaching English to middle school students, and I went and did observations in his class while I was still attending community college, and I hadn't transferred to a four-year vet. And he had a lot of positive things to say about it. He seemed to enjoy his work. And I guess at that point I didn't really have much direction as to where I was going, although I was taking lots and lots of math. So he said, well, hey, there's a need for math teachers.
Maybe if it's like a hard concept, you can't understand or you don't know, but you need someone to tell you to step it out or show you how to do it. I might need a teacher.
There is a time in learning when the student can no longer reach a new level without a more capable adult or peer. Jonathan found guidance from his peer to further develop his education and his perspective of learning. In the classroom, however, the perspective of learning is a process of conceptualizing content at hand. Cordy notices that as concepts get more conceptual, he needs the guidance of his teacher. This guidance allows students to prosper to a new level they would otherwise not achieve on their own.
I think learning is different for all students. I think they are all very capable of it. They learn in different ways. And I think I take my experiences with learning, not completely understanding why I'm in this system and what the purpose of it is. And I think it helps me understand maybe what some of my students are going through. I think somebody in their lives needs to connect with them in a way and maybe give them some kind of direction. Not specifically, but I guess help them see the importance.
Learning, at its roots, is an individual process in which an individual strives to make connections between the concepts they are presented in the classroom to their real-world social context. However, learning cannot always be completed on an individual basis. Students will be faced with perturbations in the learning process and will need guidance from a teacher or more capable peer. Jonathan reflects on his personal experiences in education and how these experiences shed light on showing students the importance of an education. Jonathan is a prime example of Lev Vygotski's theory of the zone of proximal development, in which a teacher or more capable peer guides a student to a new level in their education, where otherwise they may have not surpassed the perturbations in their learning process.